What's up, everyone? It's Charles here with Rocketpuncharmy to do a review of the Transformers masterpiece MP-26 Cybertron Ground Air Combatant Road Rage. Very first thing you're probably thinking is, hey, didn't this come out a long time ago? Yes, it did, but I'm only getting around to it now because, you know, life gets in the way. But here it is. I'm finally going to review it. Yeah, so we have Road Rage, which is MP-26, as I just said. Again, same box as all the other Masterpiece Transformers figures. You got the matte finish in the background, the shiny bits over the robots, the vehicle mode here on the side. We also have a picture of the robot mode on the other side. And on the back, the usual, you know, Japanese with pictures and gimmicks and accessories and scaling with other Autobot cars. So let's go ahead. Let's not waste some time here, guys. Let's open this up. I've actually opened it once to just do a comparison in another review, but I have not transformed it. I have not seen it in robot mode in my hand, but that's what we're going to do today. So we'll take that off, and vehicle mode is a Corvette Stingray, which is very beautiful. Look at that. I don't believe it's painted red, is it? There's probably some bits painted, as I do see some color difference. Yeah, it looks like it is. Underneath here, this is red, but the red on the side does look like a different shade. So it does have a little coat of red, I guess, which is actually done pretty well. There's, again, I usually get, you know, factory worker pubes on my paint, but it's not so bad on this. Overall, done very well. Looks great. I love the little fire chicken going on right here on the top, and the Autobot Tampo prints, and you can see the interior bits of Road Rage and her what do you call it? Her shoulder bits here, but it doesn't detract too much from the look of the car. It does have rolling wheels, just like the other Masterpiece, or at least the newer ones. There is no rubber on the tires. It's just a molded black piece of plastic with silver detailing there. Underneath, it's actually quite nicely, you know, covered. It's not so crazy. Like usually you hold a transformer under here and you just see the entire robot. In this case, because of these wings, it is nicely covered in the way the feet fold in here. So I kind of like that. The back, you know, a typical Corvette with the round lights. You do get these little vent looking things back here, but I don't think they look too bad, honestly. And very minor detailing here up front. And of course the little Corvette logo, which is done just in silver. There's no little bits here of detailing. They didn't really go that far, but yeah, so that's that. And let's see how it rolls here for a moment, since a lot of you will want to know that. And it actually does roll quite nicely right out of the box, and that's probably because I have not transformed it and put it back all crooked, so that's always a good thing to see. One of these rolling, even though there's a bunch of stuff going on the bottom, rolls very nice on this cloth. So let's go ahead and move on. Now, as far as accessories, we do get this blaster cannon pointy looking weapon here, which is just done in a solid black plastic, nothing really crazy going on. Now if we move further in here, you do get a little twin cast. The other mold of this, which is the Trax, did have a little blaster. This one has a little twin cast, so that's kind of cool. You also get this grill mounted gun here, just like Trax. Alright, with the little hollow bit underneath. This is painted silver over black plastic. And you also get the, what do you call it, rear view side mirrors here. I will not be attaching those on because I don't need them. I don't display it in vehicle mode, and I'm just going to end up losing them anyway. But just so you know, they are included, and they do have little reflector details there, which is absolutely awesome. And you get a couple of sets. So that's really nice in case you do lose a couple. So as far as these accessories, you can actually have twin cast inside vehicle mode here, and also the little plasma gun, the grill gun, and the rifle. There's a couple things you got to do. You kind of semi have to take it apart here. Just bring these wings down, pop this open, and then you can move this, and you can pop twin cast right in there. Just have to figure out, oh yeah, there's a little notch right there. You just pop it in. And it's a little hard for me to do with these big ass fingers, but pop that right in there. There we go. And then since I have it pretty much already almost in flight mode, we're just going to go ahead and do that. I'll just get underneath here, pull these arms out this way. And you just want to straighten the arms out here. And there's a peg on the inner part of the forearm, which you want to peg on the side of the vehicle mode here. And then get these wings situated properly, which is this way. And underneath there's these little kind of guns you got to pull out here. We get them out. And also push out these little kind of fins, which you just have to bring open. These don't tab in, so that you push them in and then you got to take it apart to really pull them back out, unless you can really just grab onto there and pull these pins out that way to the side. And if you're having difficulty tabbing the arms in, just make sure you have this angle going on right here. This angle can only be achieved by pulling these pins out to the side. Then bring the rear hatch down and over, bring the wings out. These little guns are going to come down on the side here. Then you're going to take the rifle, make sure you pull this bar down. It's a little round peg, which you're going to just simply place in that hole there. Alright, and then just align these little kind of guns here. Make sure they're pointing forward. Not exactly sure how they're supposed to go, and they're a little bit annoying to get at with big fingers, but well, we'll just leave it like that. And of course, the grill gun. There is two little holes on the top right here. That's where the little teeth on the grill gun go. Pop that in there. And there you have it. This is the flight mode, which is a pretty cool thing they've integrated into this. I'm sure it wasn't originally, maybe it was originally intended, I don't know. It just seems like sort of like an afterthought, almost like a Gerwalk mode. What do you call it, on Valkyrie. You know, it's not the greatest looking thing, but you know, it definitely does work. You know, for a transformer. So totally forgot to do a scale comparison while it was in vehicle mode, but we're pretty much there. And we have wheel jack here for comparison. All right, show you from different angles so we don't get any distortion from my lens here, which makes one look bigger than the other. It looks pretty nice with the wheel jack there. Move on to the instruction booklet. It's your typical, you know, I feel like a broken record here. But it's the you know, full color print Japanese instruction booklet with pictures and whatnot, and black and white on the inside. And then here's usually where the weapons are. All right, so we got twin cast there. We have the laser ram, which is the grill mounted gun, and the plasma discharger rifle, which we'll check out in just a moment. All right, speaking of which, we are going to transform it, but not until I really show you the rest here. Almost forgot to show you this, guys. It's the little spec card. Again, cardboard gloss here, very nice, very cool artwork. It does show all three modes. You got the flight mode here, you got the regular Corvette car mode, and then obviously robot mode. And we turn it around, you get all her specs right back here. Very cool. I'm actually getting quite excited, not because it's a female robot, but just I have not handled the Transformer in quite a bit. So let's go ahead and get this thing transformed. So we'll do that by pulling these fins in, spreading the arms here, opening the rear again, and underneath we're going to pull these little guns out to the side. Fold the arms up this way. We want to spin the backpack around to get these little guns here on the top over the shoulders. And this next part I don't really like. I know with tracks I did the whole quick transformation. I'm not going to do it with this, just to save a little bit of time here, being able to post it up. But this little section here tabs almost like one of the newer animated Sideswipe figures. I forgot the line, but I had reviewed before. It hooks pretty much the same way. I'm not sure how much I like that, but it's these two little tabs go right into these shoulders here. Definitely just like one of the Sideswipe figures. And it doesn't really like catch on. You see it just pushes right out. Might have something to do with some adjustment here, but not really. It's not tabbing in. Really don't like that. However, this next part sort of makes up for it. This opens up, and this is very clever. It's a nice way of covering these open holes here. This opens up to allow you to bring this around back. Check out how nice that is. If it didn't have that, it would just be like a big gaping hole. Bring this up and back. Definitely really cool there. And then the little tabs just squeeze right into the back ever so gently, just to secure those side panels. This is also another little weird thing. These little tabs come down and kind of hook into there. I remember with tracks, it's a little weird. I mean, it secures okay, I guess. I remember having a little more trouble with tracks. Yeah, I guess it's fine. I mean, it does have movement, but the movement you don't want is going back out. Pushing in, it just bounces right back where it's supposed to be, but it doesn't pull out, which is, I guess, much better than I had anticipated. And while I was transforming this, I don't know if you could see that, it's a big glob, whatever you want to call it, of paint. It's so ugly right there. It's definitely something that I would have preferred to see like on a KO, since it's a KO. But this is original, and it has, you know, its little quality defects. It's got to be right there too, right in the front. Hopefully the arms will just cover it, but I think that's very sloppy. Another neat little gimmick is the way this kind of folds around to be able to bring the hand out. I really like the way that spins around and covers that hole there. That's a very clever. Again, it's a lot of little clever bits, and also a little couple things that I'm like, what? Then these panels come down here on the front, spin the waist around. We gotta somehow pull these sides out here, then bring the foot out, spinning this around. We're gonna do that on both sides. And then you'll see they're all flimsy. This little fender is going to go right behind that little bit there, where it's gonna secure itself, which is pretty cool again. Don't know if that'll, actually it doesn't really touch the paint there. I was afraid that might scrape the paint, but it actually looks like it doesn't. Then these things here, you got to do like a little bit of origami to get them out in the front. Go ahead and do that for both sides here. Make sure we adjust the feet correctly. And it looks like I totally skipped a part of the transformation here, which is the part where we take our head out, which was like very early on in the transformation. And can't get these shoulders to lock in, man. It's kind of annoying. I guess they're sort of situated there once I put this backpack on. Alright. Love the ratchets. Can't have enough ratchets on my figures. Alright, and then just a matter of adjusting all the other little bits there. I'm sorry if I got off camera, but here's Road Rage. So Road Rage obviously shares molding and stuff with tracks here, which I'm going to put to the side. But you can see they differentiate each other enough, you know, to really make it worth having both. Honestly, even if they were identical, I'd still get both. But it's really nice that they've made some changes. Obviously, the head sculpt, you got the chest difference here, little detailing, thighs, the forearms, and obviously the coloring, which you know, I think the figure does a good job of looking feminine compared to tracks, even though they share about 90% of the parts. I know the designer is not the same one that's been working on the older. I don't know the names. I'm not that crazy nerdy about my robots, but I know it's a different designer. I think he's the one that did Rodimus and Ultra Magnus, I believe Ironhide, and they all sort of have that feel of having like a different designer, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just different. It's, you know, they get a different guy. He's got his own way of doing things, and it's not too bad. You know, but I can tell it's definitely not from the same guy. If it is, then I'm sorry if I made a mistake about that, but I'm pretty sure it's a different designer. Now, the hands are also different, right? Yeah, got slightly smaller, daintier hands. But I like the figure. I was not really going to get this figure because I'm trying really only to collect what's nostalgic to me. But you know, this is a female Autobot, had to have it. Now, one thing they've done completely different is the way the weapon is. It doesn't have that tab that goes into the palm here, right? It actually is the type of weapon that just goes over the hand, gets covered. It doesn't look like it really. Oh, actually, it looks like it tabs on the top of the hand, so maybe that's why it keeps falling off. Gotta tab it. There we go. No, I can't get it in there. Alright, had to do that off camera, but there we go. I was just going to complain about how the weapon falls out very easily, but I knew there was something hidden. Alright, this suffers from the same kind of weird stability issues that I've had with tracks. It's like, it has ratchets, but they're just, there's a lot of play in between them, and I just can't get it right, but I got it standing, so that's all that matters. I got her listening to some rockin' tunes on her little twin cast here, and I do want to check out the head sculpt here really close. And I'm sure my camera is going to go blur. Oh, it didn't go blurry, but there we are. There's the head sculpt, very feminine, very cool looking. Of course, we got to do scale comparisons with MP-10, which is right there. Then we got it here with Hot Rod and Ironhide. I gotta say, guys, I am enjoying this figure a little more than expected. You do have to take into account that I have been away from robots for probably a couple of months, so you know, you got to put that into account when it comes to me, you know, gleaming over this thing. But I do enjoy it, honestly. I do recommend it if you don't already have it. If you're not a fan of, you know, figures that were not nostalgic to your youth or whatever, but you could dig a female Autobot, I do recommend it, because this is definitely not something that I would have originally bought. But now that I have it, I do quite enjoy it. You know, aside from the little stupid issues it has, like this glop here, which you can see in robot mode, which is a little annoying. It's got a weird backpack looking thing, which is not a quality issue, it's just a design issue. And then mine has this little line going down in front of the foot. But yeah, overall, I still like it very much. If you're enjoying what you see, guys, please use the link in the description below. Helps me and the channel out. And it also gets you to where you can buy this. And that would be bigbadtoystore.com. Yeah, so if you're enjoying it, pick one up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And hopefully I will be back very soon. Make sure you check out my other videos. And until next time, bye-bye.